Hi everybody, I'm at the bus stop and I have a few minutes to make a quick video to chat with y'all. So I wanted to make a video to go along with the relationship video. That should be the video before this one. And in that video I kind of discussed a little bit in there about how non-duality, or this apparent seeing that I have, is not really anything that I have. It's nothing special to share, nor is it a belief. So to go along with that, I wanted to also add something to that sort of message. It seems to go a little bit with it. And that's just about acceptance. So when this is seen, that there is no one here, something that is really clearly seen is that there is no free will. So if there's no free will, everything that's happening is just happening. And I don't know anything further than that, nor do I have any desire to know that. But things are happening, so things are arising. I am speaking, there is an apparent other person. The bus is here. So I'm going to continue this video when I get back to my house, and I'll just add them together. Okay, I'm back to share with y'all the rest of what I wanted to share with y'all at the bus stop. So I've gotten back home and I had a really good Greek salad that I made. So now I'm here able to talk to you. My dog is barking on and off. My daughter and her friend are needing different things. So that's just what's happening right now. So if we get interrupted, that's what's going on. So anyhow, getting back to relationships, I'm not exactly sure where we left off, but where I wanted to go with the whole topic of relationships is relationships change in a way because there's no need to control the situation with a friend. There's nowhere to get, and every time you see a friend, husband, mother, father, whoever it is that you're interacting with, there's this freshness and newness each time you see them. It's like whatever issues, or if you had anything, let's say you had an argument with them or anything from the past, all of it's like gone. So every time you reunite with them, every time you talk to them, it's all fresh and brand new. So there's no hanging on to maybe some issue y'all had. It just falls away. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing is that with relationships, there's no need to share what this non-duality is, or explain to someone that there's no self, because most people will not understand that, and it is very complicated to explain. So the only thing that's going to happen is that you're going to look crazy. So there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do. In my experience, I don't have any need to share this because I don't feel that this is special in any kind of way. It is special what is happening, but that's happening with them too. So it's not just, oh, I'm special. No, every happening is special. So there's just no need for me to share this as if this is something I've attained. If anything, I've lost everything. So this is not something that I would go and share with anybody that I know. If they ask me, or if this is a topic maybe that's being discussed, or like I mentioned in the previous video, if someone were to read my book or watch this and then ask me about it, of course I'd be more than happy to answer questions and talk about it. But I don't have any desire to talk about this with anybody that I know. Now, the third thing is that this whole seeing that, everything's just happening is not a belief. It's literally the truth. It's literally reality. It's just what is. It's what's happening. So there's no need for me to want to control or convert someone that I know into believing what I believe, because this is a belief. It's not a belief. It's just what's happening and what was seen. So for if I was to try to get someone to believe this, then that would be a problem in the sense that there would be maybe a misunderstanding on my part, because this is not a belief. This is just what's happening. And what's happening with them is completely fine and accepted. Acceptance when it comes to relationships and things like that, I want to explain where I'm coming from with that. So when everything was seen to me that there is no self, no other, nothing, just the one arising, I immediately understood this was the first understanding, okay, that there is no self. And then the next understanding was a feeling that I felt throughout my whole body, kind of like the middle part. And what happened was like everything began to fit together. And I know that sounds very strange, but it's what happened, okay? And what I felt in that was a communication. And it wasn't a verbal one. It was just a complete understanding, a complete like clearing up of a misunderstanding. So what that was all of a sudden everything that I had ever been ashamed of, anything that I had ever done, any failures that I had ever had, any guilt or shame over something that had ever happened, any of my deepest, darkest secrets that I felt was like something horrible about me, anything anybody had ever said to me that was bad, was all seen that I wasn't the owner of it. It never happened. I never did it. I never did any of that. So immediately there was a sense of complete relief that, oh, that wasn't me. So I don't have to hold that shame or that guilt anymore. Immediately all of that went away. So that is what happened there. Now, on the other hand, the same was seen with all my accomplishments, okay? So everything I had ever worked so hard for, all the work I put in at work, all the work I put in at school, all the work I put into my marriage, into parenting, all this stuff that I basically, you know, sometimes killed myself over it in the sense of working hard. I never did any of that. But it's funny because, you know, it's funny because it's on both ends, okay? So whenever I felt that, I just wanted to sit there and laugh. I couldn't believe, oh my gosh, like I thought I was doing all of this stuff and I never done any of it. It was just hilarious. And at the same time, a little bit angering, because I was like, wow, okay, well, all that effort for what? If I never did any of it. But, you know, there was that at that time, and even it can still happen, that there's a sense that I'm doing this. You know, that's just what happens. Anyway, that's just to explain why I can easily accept anybody and their situation. So when it comes to family, friends, anybody else, there's total acceptance for whatever is happening. So if they make a mistake, if they say something I don't like, something inappropriate, or something I just don't like, or they're offensive in some way to me, that just doesn't happen anymore. It's just accepted. Whatever happens, happens. Now, that doesn't make me a doormat. There is a strong sense. I know this sounds strange. Even there's no self, there's a strong sense of self-love. And self-love is not so much for like that there's a self here. It's a different kind of self-love. It's like a self-love of this expression. Like, you know, whatever this expression wants to express, whatever I want to express as this expression that's happening without me doing it, that's just happening, is very highly regarded in some way. Like, you know, if somebody is being that offensive or, you know, something to me, I will definitely walk away, and I can definitely set boundaries. When it's seen that there's no one here or there, things just happen. and they happen in the best possible ways. Now, anything can happen, so I can't, cling on that. That's not really a belief. It's just what's happened so far. But with friends and family, I can completely accept them as they are, whatever religion they are, whatever they want to believe about me. I just see it as that's just what's happening. I have felt a sense of, sometimes a bit of sense of sadness when I see another individual, let's say family, that wants something to be different. And it clearly can't be. It's just what's happening. It makes me a little sad in a way to see that, because I can see how much unhappiness and suffering comes out of wanting things to be different rather than just accepting what is. But then again, there's nothing that they can do. It's just all happening. They can't do anything about it to change it, and I can't do anything myself to help them change it. It's just what it is. Whatever it's going to happen with them will unfold how it unfolds. So that's just seen. And there's just a total acceptance for whatever someone is. Let's say I meet someone that is a murderer or, committed some heinous crime. I feel in a different way towards them now than I would have in the past. So I just see it, that's what's happened with them. And there's like a sense of ultimate forgiveness, like, okay, not that there's anyone here to forgive anybody else, but there's that sense of that, of just seeing, okay, this is a person that whatever has happened with them has led them on this path, but that wasn't them. It's just all happening. Just kind of like, I like watching crime shows and scary movies and lots of true stories that revolve around murders and rapes and things like that, cults, all of that stuff. Well, that is real stuff that's happening in this apparent world. It's not real outside of this apparent world. Like, everything is real and unreal, like a dream. When you wake up from a dream, it's over, it's not real, it's done. Same thing from these apparent happenings. When happenings are no longer, this never existed. When I'm dead, this never existed. Now, I never live or die, but one day this expression, this form, will not be here. And there will be another expression of some kind expressing something else. So that's just what's been seen. So with friends and family and anybody I come in contact with, there's just a complete acceptance with their current appearance and happening. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they accept me, because they're not in the same sort of reality that I am currently. Okay, I mean, we're all in the same. We're all the same. But we each have a difference, there can be a difference of perception and perspective depending on whatever that character is experiencing. So here with me, it's seen that there's no self. There's no self. There's no other. This whole apparent world that we live, which is the current reality, the only reality that I know, is not real. But at the same time, that's ultimate freedom and liberation, because everything that I've ever done, the good, the bad, the ugly, I never did. Never happened. And anything that will happen or anything that could happen, I never did. But, there's, people get worried, oh, is somebody going to commit crimes or do something like that? No. What's happening is happening, and that's supposed to happen. There's nothing other than that. And whatever happens ultimately has no meaning, purpose, nothing. Everything's just happening, and it's really not happening. There's no time. There's no other for there to be anything other than nothing. So I know that's really probably confusing. I hope that it was clear in some spots about relationships, and I think that I'll do a question and answer video, and then that way, you know, whatever y'all have questions about, I can answer more clearly or whatnot. All right, thank you for watching.